Alright, so today I'm going to talk about motorcycle safety. Now, especially when you start riding, you're going to see a lot of people not being safe, and that doesn't mean you should be safe. Riding a motorcycle is a very dangerous thing to do. There's a lot of cars out there that aren't really looking where you're going, and the motorcycle makes you want to do some crazy stuff, which maybe you shouldn't. But there's a lot of parts to it, and let me start off with protection. You should always, of course, have a full face helmet on. not a rain bucket, you know, not the ones that don't cover your face, only the back. You gotta have a full face. The reason for that is they've actually found that most of the times when you crash, the first thing that gets hit is your jaw and your face, and that's precisely the thing that only a full face helmet covers. So if you value your face, you wear a full face helmet. I think you should always wear a jacket too, for all the road rash you're gonna get if you fall off. It's very likely that you fall off too at some point. I myself haven't fallen off, but you know, I've gotten pretty close a couple times. But if I did, you know, I always have my gloves on, which I have these leather gloves. They have some extra padding on the knuckles, and they're pretty thick. They're good. You always gotta make sure your gloves have extra protection on the knuckles. Your jacket, I would suggest having a winter jacket and a summer jacket. In the summer, I use a jacket that's mesh, so all the air just goes right through it, and you can wear that. It could be like 100 degrees out. You're still pretty okay with it. Maybe you don't have anything under it, but it's a very important piece of protection. And then for the winter, I'm guessing a leather jacket. I have a textile jacket for the winter, but it's big, so I can always put a sweater under it. Right now I'm going to take the highway for a couple minutes here, for where I'm going. It might get a little windy, but I'm just taking the next exit here. Look at this car. There's a car right up here, a little 10 Chevy, and it's going, look at it going over the left lane marker. These are some pretty dangerous drivers out here. Hopefully he's not gonna veer off into the whole lane. I mean, the problem is that if he does veer into the whole lane, you won't know. You think he's just going over the hash marks again, but he might actually want to go to the other lane, and you know, of course, he's not going to signal like all bad drivers. Start going to my exit here. These guys are so slow. Hang on, bastard. Okay, so I would definitely recommend having two jackets, the winter one and the summer one. The winter ones are always going to be way too hot for the summer, and the summer ones are going to be way too cold in the winter. So unless you only want to ride in the summer, you know, just for fun on weekends and stuff, then I guess just have a summer jacket. Otherwise, you know, it's important. It's always important too to wear jeans. Jeans are kind of stronger at protecting from a fall than, you know, than any other material. You know, to have denim jeans, they're important. When I first started riding, I actually also put on kneecaps for my knees just in case. I don't really use them anymore. I guess if I go on a track or something, I'll put them on. But if you're still new, you know, maybe you should wear those. Those add a little protection. Or if you actually want to go ahead and get the motorcycle pant jeans, I mean the pants with all that protection, that would be good. I don't like to do that, but if there's some good pants out there, you know, you can only get you safer. On your shoes, you should wear boots. I'm not following that today. I actually have my sneakers on, but it does depend what sneakers you wear. Just for a more practical sense, make sure your sneakers have a good sole under them, like they get good grip. Because I have like my Converses, you can't ride with those obviously, but the reason is not just because it's incredibly unsafe and doesn't protect your foot at all. It's also because they don't really get a good grip on the floor and they're very slippery. I remember once I put them on and the road was a little wet and I almost slipped right off of it. They don't get a good grip, where with these sneakers I have on, I find that they have a better grip. But usually I'll wear my boots, which are steel toe boots. I would suggest doing something like that. You'd probably get some from like Walmart. You don't have to, I don't think you need to get the actual motorcycle boots. They can tend to be a little pricey. Okay. For safety too, I would suggest taking like a motorcycle safety class. If you don't want to pay for it, I'm gonna make a video on the main points of motorcycle safety. You could go actually to the motorcycle safety website, and it gives you some pretty good information, and it shows you actually the things that they make you do during the class. So if you just try doing those things, then maybe you could excuse not taking the class. But I would definitely suggest when you first start riding to just take it easy. Don't go on dangerous curvy roads or highways until you're comfortable. You know, when you'll feel comfortable when you're ready. If you try taking on too much all at once, it's not good. I'll get right in between these guys. Okay, the most important thing when it comes to motorcycle safety is not drinking. Even if you drink and drive and nothing happens, it's a magnified effect when it comes to riding. Like I would say, probably drinking 1 beer and riding is similar to drinking like 3 beers and driving. You feel an effect you know. And it's, I think, the most likely cause for motorcycle death is a accident that involves drinking. So one dangerous thing about drinking and riding is usually when you drink and ride are days of the week, like Friday nights and Saturday nights, when people like to drink and drive. So riding on a Friday night or a Saturday night in itself is dangerous because of the amount of drunk drivers out there that could hurt you. But if you compound that by yourself, you don't even have to be drunk. You could just have had like one beer and the effect is a lot. You have to be in tip-top shape when you're dealing with you know, a lot of drunk drivers, like on a night like that. So it's important that you not be impaired too. Like, I could definitely see why that will cause, like, why that would be so dangerous. You know, you have to maybe take like into account like danger points too. Like, have one of the things I think about is I give 3 danger points, and if I got 3 points of danger, then I'm not coming out with my bike. Like, if I believe there's gonna be a lot of drunk drivers out on the road, that's 1 danger point. If you're gonna drink anything at all, just don't come out. It's not a good idea at all. But say that it's a lot of drinking, you're gonna be riding in the city where it's dangerous, that's 2 points. And say it's like a little windy or something, that's 3 points, you can't come out. Or say you're a little tired, that's 3 points, you can't come out. Or like a little too cold or too hot that you're not wearing boots or proper gear, you know, those are all danger points. You want to try to minimize them. One of the better skills, I guess, that you have to get good at is just making quick turns. Which you probably heard about counter steering. If you want to go left, you just steer to the right at high speeds and it kind of drops you like that. That's a very important skill. To say there was something right in front of me right now, I would just go like that and dodge it. But if you don't have that skill, you're gonna eat it and not dodge it. So you have to dominate that skill before you really start riding out there. You have to work on your stopping. One really good thing to try too is to get comfortable and not be sitting tight on the bike all the time. Like, instead of just turning the bike, you could keep the bike straight and lean yourself off of it. The advantage is that the bike has a better grip on the road. This is good for when it rains. And you're still turning even though the bike is straight. So that's a good way to keep your balance. And then if you combine the two, you can make really sharp turns. When you're buying also when you're buying like jackets, I forgot to mention this, you always gotta make sure that they have CE rated armor on the shoulders and elbow. CE rated, I think, means European competition rated or something. That it's basically just means that they're good, you got good padding. And then you always gotta make sure they come with a back protector too, and that it's somewhat adequate. Yeah, I was about to go around this. There's the guy. So you're seeing out here on the road, a lot of cars just turn into you, get in front of you, and if you can't dodge them, sometimes they'll just come way all ahead of you, right into your path. It can be very dangerous. You have to be able to make these moves. I mean, it's not that it's, I mean, a lot of times it's the driver's fault, but it's not just the driver's fault, it's your fault because you decided to come out on a motorcycle without being ready to dodge this type of situations. So what good is it gonna be? Is it gonna do you to blame the driver for your accident, or you came out knowing that there were a lot of drunk drivers out there, or you came out knowing that your skills are not adequate to dealing with all these cars? Another thing too, when you get to turns, you have to be very ready to make these sharper turns at good speeds. That one wasn't sharp, but I heard that's one of the most common causes for motorcycle crashes is just people not being able to take a turn. And it's not always that you take the turn too fast, is that you were uncomfortable taking the turns. Because you can take turns at pretty fast speeds, but only if you know what you're doing. If you're not that experienced yet, then it can seem like you're going too fast and you're just gonna get scared, and you can just look up videos, people just go straight into the curb, like they don't even try to dodge it, they just freeze. So just make sure that's not you. Always make sure you stop before taking turns, and don't test yourself until you know you can pass. Like don't test yourself taking a turn by taking a turn into a concrete wall. Test yourself like in a parking lot and somewhere safe. We'll go to the next parking spot. Like here, it wouldn't be a great place to try it out. There's a lot of bumps and you'll go straight into a tree. But you could kind of like draw a mark on like an empty parking lot or something, or if you miss the turn, you're not gonna go tumbling down the woods or into a concrete wall. Just try to become comfortable. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And don't do things you're uncomfortable doing. So I hope this video has helped you guys out, and hopefully you guys will take care out there. All right, peace out.